Good morning, good morning. It is Phoenix Amore. So, while I make coffee, because yes, I'm making coffee this morning. Yes, I'm still going into the studio tomorrow. Again, I had not even picked what track I'm going to use yet. That'll be today, and by tomorrow afternoon, I'll be ready. Y'all know how I do. So, I wanted to basically, because some of you guys, I like sharing these stories for two reasons. Because I like for the high school girls to know that I get what you go through sometimes too. So a lot of the times they hear me talking about boys and all that kind of stuff, but I like to basically speak on that level too in regards to girls. And remind parents, don't forget, these kids have feelings, they have emotions and all that kind of stuff. Now, what I want to bring in and make sure that people understand, I wasn't always Miss Edgy in that regard. I like to share the story around it in the sense that I went to those predominantly white schools, right? And so when I went to the Science Academy, which happened to be at a black school, I soaked in that culture. But it changes your perspective because I also got to see reverse racism. See, I wasn't one of those people who let people penetrate me to the point where I was like, oh, now I'm around these black folks. And I heard a lot of them because they grew up in black homes that had the reverse attitude, like all the white folks, this and that, and white folks ain't nothing but a devil. And I heard some of that out of the kids' mouths, but thank God I was grounded enough to kind of say, okay, that's interesting. I've heard racist white folks, I've heard racist black folks. And I was always able to kind of discern through both. Now, I stopped focusing on academics when I went to the black school because I got so caught up. Again, everybody knows this story. And soaking that culture in. Now, showing you the different dynamics at play. Understanding that the black school being in the band was cool because we were on the halftime show. Sometimes we were dancing and the kind of music we were playing, R&B and all that kind of stuff. Mixed with, when it was concert season, it wasn't like that band didn't play some of the more classical stuff, but it was that football time. We were on the field dancing. So now here it was. I'm back at the high school and I'm like, okay, this is going to be here. Come a whole new readjustment again. So basically, that's really what happened. What they didn't realize is some of these same white people that I had gone to middle school with, I've been gone a year and a half at this black school. I'm not the same cat. I'm coming back. I'm seeing some stuff a little bit different. So even though I didn't go into that hate white folks mode like some of those black folks at that black school, I did start catching some stuff where I'm like, privilege sure does buy money, sure does buy a lot of privilege. So I'm seeing all these parents with all this money, and now it makes sense. See, before, as with a different mindset, you can say, well, maybe I just didn't make that because of blah, 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 however you want to say it. Now, it breaks something down to folks very thoroughly. In middle school, when I was in band, there was a blonde lady. She didn't see color. She saw talent. And when she saw me blossom in clarinet, I was first chair all the time. So that was talent. It wasn't anything else. She was just like, you know what? This girl has this talent. So knowing all these dynamics, the flip flop back and forth, all black school, all white school, all this. So I've dealt with white folks, beautiful white people. Like I said before, this lady, she was strict, but she knew I took music seriously. So everybody was like, Miss F is, but she was not playing this just because it's band. Don't think you're going to be up in here playing. And we vibed on that level because I took music seriously. So with all this being said, now when I've come back to the white high school, I'm seeing it. So you can't just tell me anything. I'm looking at your dad just bought the basketball team, the bags, and I'm seeing how Coach so-and-so responds to you. She's blonde and all this kind of stuff. All these things, and I'm like, okay. So now, then they have this other white girl who liked my black boyfriend, who happened to be X's and Lion's father, right? So they don't see a perspective that I see because they say, she got such a bad attitude, why don't he want to be with her? Knowing they starting stuff, right? I'm like, okay. So think about the dynamics that come into play. You would now have the white girl tell her white girlfriend, whose father is the one putting the money into the team, I don't like this black girl, she got an attitude. No, really, you just like her boyfriend. Now this dad, because he thinks he got some pull on the team, he gonna tell Coach so-and-so, I don't really like that one girl, so you understand that we here. Yeah, they were there, clearly. So, understanding when I put these dynamics out there, and I talk about Coach J. Coach J was a black dude that coached at that school at the time, who coached the boys. And then I just clicked just because whatever. And that's not a stupid man. He's looking at the numbers at the JV girls team. This is your high scorer. How is it that all of a sudden you got all sophomore white girls on your varsity and you got all minority girls on your JV? Fine. We can let you slide. Maybe that's just really how that went. Come senior year, you cut your high score on JV and keep the one black girl, and you're going to bench her the whole year, because what you were trying to prove and what she didn't peep that I peeped was you got this white lady with these white girls that want to prove, oh, the white girls can hang with the black girls, because you knew how that stigma is. Some people had that whole thing where like black women are just more, or black girls are just more athletic. So don't get it twisted how that can affect people all across the board. She had a little agenda that she knew. She wanted to prove something. Now, the key thing is, and I did not share this with people, my mom actually had a meeting with that lady, the coach. I'm not the type and was not the type to always complain to my mother, okay? So I wasn't one of those kids where I'm like, I'm going to get my mama. And that was not me. She could read my body language to the point where she finally intervened. She had the meeting. And she was looking at this lady like, okay, so how is it? So are most of these kids' parents donating money or, whatever? That was her way of professionally being articulate and not going up there being all ghetto. So Miss Coach could say, see, her mama her mama supposedly. That's one of those, oh, her mama is actually yes, that's how I was raised. You got the wrong end of the story. But that's my mom and I knowing the lady was going to be retaliatory. In the back of my mind, I had a feeling she was going to cut me that next year, but it was worth it to me. And that's the thing that people don't understand. Sometimes when you have to live in your truth, at that moment, I'm like, she probably going to cut me, but hell, it's better for her to cut me than bench me for the whole season, because I'd rather that than feel like she has me on puppet strings. So when I went to that game, that message loud and clear was, you still didn't break me. We actually expected this is how you were going to be. So now, hindsight, when you go read what I wrote about your daddies are buying your spots, it was the truth. It wasn't Miss Bad Attitude black girl like, I'm mad because you supposedly better than me. No, it was for real. Your daddy are buying your spots. Because now when you can look at the numbers, clearly that's what Coach Jay was looking at going, no, this is some shady stuff. But he didn't stir the pot. He just left it alone, because I'm like, don't worry about it. I just needed somebody else to give me a new perspective. And that's why I said I need the real coach to come and see for himself. And once he was like, nah, they just playing games or doing that, I was chill. So that kind of thing, sometimes even a word from somebody who can look and say, no, you're actually right in that situation. You don't have to carry that as a burden. That meant a lot. So now everybody gets it. Instead of mad black girl, this and that, when you know the whole story, you go, oh, so she really is kind of like this little catalyst. Exactly. Take care.